This is a Rapido Trains RS11, realistic down to the engine failures. What you are seeing here is the last time this model operated normally. Shortly after, the kind of symptoms I was all too familiar with, embodied in another Rapido-style, impossible-to-open model, began to appear. I already said some grumpy things about Rapido, so instead I'll say this. When I reached out, despite knowing I would not be a returning customer, Rapido went out of its way to make sure that they left me as satisfied as they possibly could. Thank you, Rapido. I wish we could have made it work. Oh, and no matter what anyone says, it really was you all along. Returning everything back to Rapido left me with nothing but the little engine that could, most of the time. My distaste about the hobby really turned me off. The cost of new models didn't help either. It is hard to justify spending this kind of cash when the high prices do not match the quality expectations. This is when I began to ask, could I, with a little elbow grease and some ingenuity, build a better model than Rapido can? Arrogance aside, one of the things I learned in journalism is that if your title is a question, then your answer is probably going to be no. So when I ask, can I build a better model than Rapido can? The answer is probably going to be no. However, it wouldn't be much of a video if I didn't try at least. This is an Athearn SW1000 blue box. It's sat, forgotten, in a display cabinet for over 2 decades. A veteran model railroader showed me the ropes to get it back on the road. I mean track. It has a simple but attractive paint job. It is tagged for my imaginary railway. It's sporting about $15 worth of detail parts, has a 17mm speaker, LEDs. The most and probably only expensive component is a top shelf decoder, giving this 20-year-old motor a run for its money. Somehow, superb performance even over a frog on a 2-decade-old model I can pop open without a screwdriver or an engineering degree is absolutely achievable. So, can I build a better model than Rapido can? Are you looking for an exact replica of a model that will happily sit on a shelf to be admired? Then no, I absolutely can't. Compared to a modern-day offering, despite all the love and attention it received, this model is crude in comparison and sounds like a coffee grinder. This is a Life-Like Proto 2000 GP7 in a gorgeous New York Central Lightning livery. This model was made by a company that hasn't been in business in at least 2 decades, yet 20 years later I can still buy one cheap and pull it out of the original box. There is something special, almost innocent of the old new. The model is superbly detailed, the paint job is crisp, and while the electronics scream 1999, the electrics look pretty excellent. Beautiful brass wheels, easy to access internals, the hallmarks of a quality product. Thanks to the many that have gone down this road before me, I knew about crack gears and lubrication. My Dremel and safety gear at the ready for the necessary die-cast modifications. A fine point soldering iron and rosin core for all my electrical needs. Being able to take a model apart down to this degree is terrifying. Being able to reassemble it better than before, extremely rewarding. In a way, it was the kind of intimate healing needed to rekindle the relationship with the hobby. This model pays homage to a golden era reflecting on the repurposed reality of being just a tool in service to its capitalist masters. For me, I like the excuse of running an old paint scheme from the glory days of railroading, made to look like it would be feasible if it were seen today. So, can I build a better model than Rapido can? The answer is still no, but that's not the point. What I've learned from my experience working on older models is that there's more than just flashy details. It's about the reliability, ease of maintenance, customization. It's about actual ownership. It's about challenging ourselves to do more with less and finding the beauty in simplicity. It's about taking the time to learn the ropes from a veteran modeler and appreciating the quality craftsmanship of models from a bygone era.